pattern. That's good.
I also don't know if I spelled your last name right. I just kind of. Yes. No, stupid. Yeah, Smith. I G in there.
Are we waiting for Karima?
Yeah.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
Oh darn.
We've been talking about you. Yeah, stuff.
We were having our own
360 review.
What?
Yeah, we started.
Am I allowed to miss that? That didn't really happen, right?
No, it did.
PJ, what do you think of PJ?
Gone. PJ. You were sassy.
Oh, is this about PJ?
Yeah.
Okay, PJ was a leader.
Yeah. I think like Matt, you just kind of like stepped up and took charge, and you're really good at like organizing everyone and like saying, oh, could you do this and could you do that, and no one really like questioned it. You just they were kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you definitely got one of the hardest days to be the Lod, and I think that you handled it very well. And I see it in advisory, like Mr. Squires was talking about yesterday, since you're kind of like one of our leaders for advisory, you're really like organized and you plan things and you do like, you try to make everything fun. Like you try to do things that everybody's gonna enjoy, and even if they're like not gonna enjoy them, you're like, well, if you do this, we can like do this later. You just always have like a positive attitude while you're being a leader, and those are two things that like go together really well.
But would you add too that she doesn't try to make things necessarily better than they are? Like she's not trying to convince you like a cheerleader that getting up at 5:30 is going to be fun, but she gets you up.
Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, do you guys feel that?
Mhm.
I was so impressed that morning. It was a hard day.
Yeah.
And you just got everybody to do it without being a cheerleader, but without being bossy. Or it was just cool. People will follow you.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, this is the way it is.
Yeah.
You can't change it. And.
But she's not even matter of fact about it. She's kind of nice.
It's just the way
unique. It's very cool.
It's like the way you are is like, it's the way it is, but you're not like, I don't know, not forceful in any way, and people just kind of respond to that.
I found you to be really stern in a good way, in a great way actually, because like although you and I like weren't friends before this, and I don't think that we're best friends now, but like you made me want to like, you made me like want to work for your like respect, kind of. I said this about someone else too, but like I think that you like, I don't know, I think that you're like really reserved and like, I don't know, you just seem like you're comfortable with yourself and like what you want to like, and like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it just seems like you like have it under control.
I think you're really like down to earth, and like you don't have to like say anything, but you're like, you encourage people to like be their best when they do things, kind of.
Do you think she's stern? And please understand, we're groping for the right words. We're trying to find the right words. Do you think she's stern?
I don't know what the word is exactly.
Like stern comes with a negative connotation. Like I understand what you're trying to say.
But it's not meant that way.
I mean, there's a time to be stern, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you are that way, and I don't think you need to be. I think people they go without that.
I said you were like, I just said like a word at the beginning. I said like steady, which I don't know. Like at the beginning of the trip, not even just the beginning actually. It took me a while. I thought you like hated me so much, just like despised me. I was like really bothered by this, and I don't know. It took a while, but like I still don't fully understand you. But I think you just have this ability to like, I don't know, you don't necessarily like get caught up in everyone else, so I think it can be viewed negatively. Like I made the mistake of just like thinking that you really disliked me, but maybe you do dislike me, I don't know. No, but I don't know. It was like I just look over and you were just like content like reading your book, or like, I don't know, you just managed to like have this the only word I can think of is like steady, if that makes sense to anybody.
Yeah, I think
Just
I
like,
understand what you mean by that.
I don't know.
This is just kind of a comment, but like I had a blast on the trip with you. It was so much fun, like diving, and when we were like teaching Aisha and Olivia how to dive, and it was just awesome because like you swim and that's what you like love doing. So it's kind of fun to see you like diving in and just like enjoying yourself.
PJ, we had some pretty good time. You're so funny and stop it. And I thought you're kinda like me. Like when you're reading and stuff. Like how we can just get lost in a book and have no care in the world about anything else. I love that.
I think like watching you with other people made me understand you better. Just like sometimes I see you like that little laugh you just did, just like the cutest little like happy, I don't know. So I don't know, you're just like a hard person for me to like comprehend.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, you have like such a beautiful outside and like you're so soft and like warm looking, and then but yeah, maybe start is not the right word, but I feel like no one's gonna like push you off your path. Like you weren't gonna like all hang out with us if you wanted to read your book. Like you are, that's like such a silly example, but you're just like I don't know, I think Mr. Squires would argue that like it's really good to have an open mind and be aware of like possibilities for change, but I also think that for your sake it's really good that you feel that like you have your feet so planted and like it's I don't know, it just makes you successful, I think.
Kind of piggybacking off of what Jackie just said, you'd have something that you wanted to do and then you'd do it, and until that was done, like until you were done reading your book or like done enjoying whatever it was that you were set on at that time, that's what your goal was. And I think that's really cool. Like you just didn't let it, like wanted to make sure that things got done.
I think you really respect yourself. Like I don't know. You're like stunning, but so modest. Like that, and your looks are only like one part of that.
I'd agree with, like I'd rather, like she said, like I don't know, like you're modest, not just in like how you look and like, but I think part of the reason I have a hard time understanding you is like I just like put everything out there, and you like are more reserved, I think, and like save the good stuff for like when you want to share it, you know, like put yourself out. What, Evan, are you laughing at? Okay, never mind, I'll stop talking.
No, I think that's part of it actually, because I had the same, when you actually sort of dared to say that you didn't think she liked you, I had the same feeling. Same with Matt, you know, I don't know when, Olivia, a little bit with you too, because, you know, it's hard to be the teacher and feel like people don't value what you're doing or like you, and then you just can sort of play around with why is that, and if we're a little bit inefficient and more emotionally oriented, and these guys are more, you know, you wonder. Do you remember the day I asked you after I said the thing about watching you as the leader of the day? Like I asked you, what did you think of that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know, I really had no idea. Like even this right here, I asked Miss Moulton, I was like, is this just sentimental and campy? Because I can imagine this being pretty do you understand? Some people would hate this. And they could pick it apart easily. Anybody feel that way?
I was talking to Mr. Benedict about it, and he wasn't really understanding, and it was just really hard to like explain to him. I was like,
I think he would hate
I was like, you could. I was like, I think you'd better understand it if you sat in and like watched what we're doing. Cause I mean, he kind of started to get it when I was explaining it to him and everything, but it's just like it's hard for some people to understand.
Okay, today when we were going out to lunch and like we were all walking over here and you like jumped in the car, I like saw a completely different side of you with your friends and stuff, And I like kind of want you to talk to us about like how you differed on this trip, because like I think that like I just saw a different side of you a second ago. Like I don't know, like how were you?
Like how I am with my friends compared to how I am like right now.
I don't know.
Did you see like a fun side, a spontaneous side that you didn't expect?
Yeah. I just like never saw that side of you.
I guess I'm definitely more open with them, probably because I've known them more or longer. I don't know, it kind of takes a while for me because I'm not like outgoing and I don't like put my feelings out there. I'm like really reserved, as you all said, and I mean I've known that for a while, but I don't really know. It's kind of when I'm surrounded by other people that are reserved that's when we become like outgoing, and like when I'm around people who are like normally outgoing, that's when I'm reserved, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because we've known each other for kind of a long time.
Yeah.
For second grade.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. So I was kind of surprised on the trip because you were kind of more quiet, and I'm used to saying like more like loud PJ, but I was just surprised. It wasn't like bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, interesting.
If you were saying the thing about Olivia, like wanting to gain her respect, I remember it was probably like the third to last day I said something and you laughed. I was like, oh my god! I was like so excited. I got to like jump up and down. It was really exciting for me. So it's kind of good to like, I don't know. It's like it was like exciting for me to get that reaction from you, whereas like if it was anyone else, it would just be like okay. So kind of a good thing to like save it for. I don't know. Made me really happy. So that was exciting. It just took something really little. Yeah.
We good? Yep, send your comments.
Yes, send me a picture. Oh.
And these are Emmy and Olivia.
That's so rude.
And these are from Keely for your
You're doing Glenn or Evan?
Yeah, Evan did them.
Right?
Yeah.
But he's refusing to give them out to
Evan,
everyone.
why aren't you giving them out?
Yeah, why are you giving out your
The dude with the big ears.
Will you give them out in the end?
They're right there.
I'll make copies if you want. If you don't want to cut them, I'll make copies and hand a copy of everybody's to everybody.
Or you can.
They're not that like, well, yeah, I'll just cut them. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna like leave them like hand out.
Wait, are we doing Evan or
Where's
Glenn?
my scissors?
Which one?
TJ has them.
Well, technically alphabetical order would be Glenn.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
Actually, technically it'd be Lauren.
Oh, we're not
Yeah,
doing
we're not
okay.
Both of those guys come up.
Are we saving you for last?
Maybe.
We'll save you for last.
Okay,
Evans.
I admired you. Oh wait, are we not done yet?
Yeah, go for it.
Go.
Okay, we're started.
Well,
You did.
I was gonna joke, but I'm gonna say something about stupid riddles.
They're so good.
I didn't know that was
Stupid
They're
riddles.
not good riddles. I commented about
You were
that.
mad
Okay,
because
We
you couldn't
make
find it
sure
out.
we're still
For
filming
serious,
since
for-
this keeps failing.
For real. Wait, should I wait?
Yeah.
No, I think you're good.
Go.
It looks- It looks like it's still filming, but last time we thought it was and it wasn't.
Okay, so I thought that like you're just like a really like level-headed person. Like there's, like especially like the first week, you could have gotten like so pissed at everyone. Just for, like, things. I mean you, but there's like you know people talking and like you could have easily just like snapped and just like stopped talking, like you know just completely shut out like this half of the
I was
room.
very friendly. I'm just gonna do this myself.
Okay. And like you did it, and I thought that was like really like awesome of you to like kind of push what everyone else thought aside.
I don't want you to snap. I just did. Like, I just wanted you to snap. Like,
what can we say to piss him
no,
off?
I didn't want to piss you off, but like when people were pissing you off, I wanted you to snap.
Yeah, you just kind of like walked away.
But
Which is nice.
That's not part of this. Okay.
I got to hear your upset.
Oh yeah.
Times.
Yeah, right.
But it was.
I thought that a thing about you that I respect and like is that you like are dead set in like everything. Like you don't just like depend on what everyone else says or is doing. Like you definitely stick to your intuition and like not just like in obvious things that people. That's not like what I'm talking about, but or like I expected all the boys to just like do everything the same. And one night, or I don't remember if it was a night dive or what. Someone was like, oh no, Evan's not doing the dive, and I was like, wow. I don't know why, that just like shocked me. I thought all the boys would do everything together, but you just like I guess didn't feel like it, so you didn't do it. And I don't know. It would have been easy for the most part, you all did stick together, but I don't know. I thought it was cool that you made your own decision. And
he's his own man.
I know. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say. You're your own man.
I think you brought maturity that like made us want to like want to present ourselves well. Kind of like, cause you always seem, I don't know, maybe it's cause like you're a guy and like whatever, but like you always seem put together mentally and like the way you appeared as well. I don't know.
I don't know if this is true, but I think I felt bad for Evan, at least this one time when he was coming back on the boat, and he was like, I tried Mr. Squires, I can't do it anymore. And so, and I think he's pretty tolerant, I think, and pretty observant and pretty respectful. And I just felt a little bit bad because it was like people just couldn't let up. And I felt that with myself before, like, how much are you going to do? How much do you expect me to deal with? You know? Like you try and you try and you try. It's so uncomfortable for your type of person. And it's not hard for people to figure that out, and they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I think you handled it super well, and you didn't say any bad things about anybody. But I know that moment where you just think, oh my gosh. And I'll tell you this too. Something I learned from a friend of mine. They had, my friend has 4 siblings, and she's not very open with her life. I never understood that. And sometimes I didn't understand why she wouldn't communicate more with me, because I'm pretty safe, like darn safe. But what I realized is she spent her whole life, any little part of herself that she let out, any real vulnerable part, what did her siblings do with it? Found so many to make fun of her. So certain people, I think, are not going to open up. They cannot open up. They are not going to make themselves vulnerable. And the idea of intimate knowing will be a challenge for them their whole life. And then I thought about the same thing in a sibling situation. Don't you know people who push their siblings just mercilessly for no reason other than to push them? I mean, do you guys have that? Am I making that up? Is that
My brother used to do that to me.
like what? I think it's, but who wants that when you're not with your siblings? Like, why would you do that? And sometimes I think our family dynamics give us license to really be ways that people like you just don't want to be around. I don't want to be around it. Does that make some sense? Can you relate to that a little bit?
It was hard for me to like view you as a human being. I don't know, like I've spent time with, like before the trip I'd spent time with you enough to like kind of know you but not know you really well, and like I knew enough about you. It was just hard for me to like put you into like a human. You were just this idea of like all these things I knew about you, and I don't know why. I can normally relate with people. It's not that hard for me, but I just like couldn't make you into a human being. But I finally managed to. It was hard though.
Well, because he was an idea?
No, just like I don't even know.
No, I get you do. It's so much fun. These are the kinds of things that Adam and I would just look at each other like, you have to explain, what does that mean?
Well, like.
Why was he not a human?
Okay, well first, I don't know, like I've had, I don't know, like we've interacted before this trip. Not.
We don't want to know about that.
No. Okay, whatever. Not like that. But like, you were just like, I could relate you with all these other people and like make you like Alex's friend, Libby's boyfriend, like this kid that I've like done these things with, but I couldn't like try to get to know you as like you. That was hard. But after 17 days on a boat, I did. So
You're a real person.
Congratulations.
It was really refreshing to me to like see you like so excited about things, because when there was something that like you were passionate about, it was really obvious. Like when you would talk about, I don't know, what is it, like movies and stuff, and like your music and stuff, it gave me like hope that people aren't just like liking music and bands and this stuff for like X, Y, and Z and like why their friends like it. Like I saw when you talked about something that there was like a genuine interest, and that made me, I don't know, it's like, so people are like things for the wrong reasons, or like do things for the wrong reasons, and you seemed like you represented like yourself, which is, I mean, now I think about like your group of friends, whatever, but like you're you, and I'm starting to think that maybe they're them as well, not just.
Yeah, part of why I think like with this, part of why I think it was hard for me is like I like before a bunch of stuff I had like this sort of relationship with you as a human, and then it like disappeared. You turned into this other thing. So then it was hard to like go back to, like I remember when I first met you. I mean, I've known you like forever technically, but not really.
Yeah.
But like earlier this year when I first started like talking to you, whatever, I thought you were like a really cool person, and I really liked you. And then it was hard for me to like, I just like let all of these ideas get in the way. This is like the stereotype thing. Like I knew the whole time, like I kept trying to not think about like all these ideas that I had of you, and then so that was a big struggle. So that's, I think it's like the whole.
But then the actual experience kind of got through.
For me, getting to know you was really different than with anybody else on the boat, because you were the only person that I never talked to ever, and you said the same thing to me. But like, I honestly never really even thought about you, so I didn't have any preconceived notions of who you were. That sounds really bad, but you know what I mean, like.
You're the invisible android.
Like, I had no idea who you were. I didn't really. I didn't have any preconceived notions as to who you were, and so it was kind of cool, like, to be able to actually start from scratch with someone. Like, that was really interesting. 'Cause you don't normally get the chance to do that.
You know, whether it be like from our experiences together before immersion or over immersion, I could arguably say that like you're probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are really, really nice. I'm sorry, that sounds really, that doesn't explain anything at all, but like, you're just nice, you're so nice. Like,
We talked about this yesterday.
exactly, we talked about you yesterday, and we just talked about it. And but
really
so
nice boy.
I don't know.
That's real.
I know we spent that day where we sat on the boat for a really long time and talked, and then we had the time in the kitchen where we had that conversation. And you're gonna think that I'm referencing it towards this, but that's not. This is like what I mean by it, and I don't mean it in the same way I meant it for Kaylee. But you're so nice that like don't underestimate yourself, and like don't let people push you around, because you are really nice too. Like I said, I mean it in completely different ways, but like you can't, like, don't let people do that to you, because you have like so much going for you that I'd never like want to see that happen to you either.
I have that written down too, like, don't, I didn't even really, not that I didn't see it on the boat, but like, in the future, you need to make sure that you can stand up for, I don't know how to word it, but like, you need to make sure that you can stand up for yourself.
Well, I was.
I think you can. Here's you know who I think's at risk? You know who the warning is? It's everybody who's around him. Because he's gonna tolerate, he's gonna be nice, they're gonna keep being jerks, and he's gonna move on. You know, Evan's not gonna try to convince him. I don't think. I think he's just gonna say, you don't wanna live in hell? Fine, I'm out. He won't have to stand up for himself. He'll just go and get on with it.
Not even that, like you said it's not exactly what you meant by I don't think that's what she's saying. It's not standing up for yourself, it's just
but he came to
being
the back
confident
of the boat that night. He
to
wasn't
know
weak. He was done.
Just
Is
confident enough to know that
I'm gonna go make a movie and $1 million. Y'all can be jerks.
I used to think that you were really cocky, but I wrote down that you need to recognize how cool you are and like everyone was saying, I think that I mean I agree with what Mr. Squire says, but you deserve the best, so although you don't need to prove anything, just I don't know, never lose that track.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was looking for.
Just what? Just what?
That's what I was looking for.
What? Tell me.
Don't settle.
Yeah, don't settle it. You deserve the best. Don't.
This makes it sound like we all just talk about what an awesome person you are all the time. But Lydia and I actually just we were, I don't know, just you're an easy person to care about for some reason. I have this care for you. I don't know why.
You don't want bad things to happen to you.
No, just I don't know. I don't know why that is. You're just you must just be easy to, I don't even know. I said, it doesn't make sense. Because I said I had a hard time viewing you as a human. But then I didn't think I really cared about you. And I have this weird care for you. So you're an easy person to care about once you're a human. So that's the thing. So I don't know. Does anyone agree with? I sound crazy because I'm just rambling.
I like this crazy. I kind of live off it a little bit.
No, you're right. He's a very easy person to want to care for.
But I think sometimes too with guys like that, depending on who they're surrounded with, they might have a friend or somebody in their life who you don't understand or you think they're gonna hurt him and all that stuff. But I think if you see him for who he is, maybe it makes you wonder, okay, who are those people he's with? Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, you, I don't want this to be a topic of conversation, but we all know some of us had our differences with some people. You made me want to I stepped back at one point and I've just been okay, I might be wrong. I
have friends who, before we got married, told me I should get away from my wife because we're so different. I was no question. Do you understand? What about? I don't know. Do you understand? Have you ever, do you understand what I'm trying to get at? If I think you're super cool and you're hanging out with her, and I hate her, there must be something I don't get.
Yeah.
Unless I think you're a super cool idiot. Or maybe she's getting something from there that I can't get. And what's wrong with that? Does that make any sense? I don't know if this is relevant to you at all. But I do know sometimes the people that people interact with really affects the way other people treat them and stuff. It's a little weird.
It's personal, but I feel you and I don't understand each other at all. But yet I feel we really understand. I don't know. I feel we really understand each other. I don't understand you because I'm not gonna think that it's a closed book, that there's an ending point. I understand you, but I just get it, I guess. Your actions make sense. Kind of.
I guess so I think it was 3 nights after the bad day where everybody was just wanting to leave and you hadn't reached you hadn't hit the wall yet. And we were cleaning dishes and you're that's it, I've hit the wall, you guys all hit. And you just looked defeated. And I guess that's what I want to warn you guys, when you feel that way, just like keep going. And that's what I worry about for you. Like to make sure that you can keep going after that.
We good? What do you think of or just quickly, just real quick.
That was really, really interesting actually.
How so?
'Cause I don't know, I didn't know half this stuff was going on, like what these people were thinking at all, which is good to know now because, but like, there was that identity kind of like struggle at the beginning, like I felt like, you know, I have this friend, like Karina was saying, like I have this friend and I am dating this person, but I'm also my own kind of like being, which, I mean, eventually I think like, you know, you guys said it kinda like came out in the end, but I don't know, it's just interesting to see, like, I didn't think any of you guys thought that or anything, so it's real, like, at all.
We love you.
Alright. Oh, did we get to on this one?
What?
Yeah.
Put it on the